Rainbow Six Siege is a damn big game these days. But it wasn't always like that. Ubisoft poured loads of resources into it post-launch to make it into the success it is today. And now we know just how deep Ubisoft delved into the game's core to make that work.
Rainbow Six Siege launched on PC and console in December 2015 to a bit of a whimper, selling just 76,000 copies across all three platforms on its debut week in the UK. But fast forward to early 2018, and the game has some 27 million players, 10 million of which are logging in every month. Explaining that massive turnaround, Ubisoft brand director Alexandre Remy says the company had to perform open heart surgery on the game. Reflecting on the game's year 2, he said, quote, "It was a lot about investing in the core fundamentals of the technology, so I'd say we did almost open heart surgery on the game. This season, you will notice the content is cleaner, the release is better, so hopefully the quality of playing the game is improving every time." He says that thanks to Operation Health, which saw Ubisoft focus more on fixing up the game rather than adding content in year 2, the company is approaching the game with a sense of serenity. Quote, "Because those fundamentals are now set and we're looking to growing the game to maturity."
As part of the game's ongoing changes, some of Siege's major content is going to be reworked, including the actual game maps themselves. Hereford Base will be the first map to be reworked, mainly because it was the very first map Ubi actually built for the game. Remy said, quote, "We started to learn what Rainbow Six Siege was on that map, so obviously looking back at it after all this time made us think about how we can make it more relevant. It was the blueprint for everything else, so it has all of the weaknesses of us being beginners. Ubi will eventually be taking a second look at all the maps the game had at launch."
And as to why the games as a service model seems to be working such a damn treat for Rainbow Six Siege, Remy reckons it's all about building trust. Quote, "It takes time to build trust and it is the most essential aspect when you are working with anyone, whether that's co-workers or the game's audience. The one thing that's absolutely key for me is trust, and so I also want everyone to know we're planning to be here for a long time." What's probably most interesting to me about this is the fact that, maybe 10, 15 years ago, you bought a game, that was a game you had forever. Whatever it was at day one, that's what you had, 10 years down the line. But they're actually reworking the maps that are in the game now. They've gone into the core of the game to restructure some of it and make it work differently, and the way that they've supported it post-launch is really, is reflective of the state of the games industry now. It's completely different to how it was. What you're getting on day one is not what you'll have 2 years down the line. Calling it open heart surgery really goes to show you how deep they went into the game's core and changed things about, and they're rotating maps out of the game and stuff, so you might have a map one month and you don't have it the next, and that's to keep things fresh and whatever. So the post-launch support, obviously it's been a massive success for Rainbow Six Siege. It really is a shining example of what the games industry is like now compared to what it was, in 2005.
Yeah, that's very true. It's like games developers shouldn't be judged on the game on day one anymore, because games as a service thing, this is the trend in the industry now. And as a games developer, the way that you interact with the community and keep everybody happy post-launch is more important than ever. Like, it never used to be like this at all. It used to be like you release your game and that was it. You move on to a different game. But now games as a service as a thing, teams of developers are there working on games years after launch now, and supporting communities and reacting to communities and making sure everybody's happy, as well as advancing the game, keeping everything fresh. It's a different industry these days. Rainbow Six Siege is up there as one of the games that that has done really well as games as a service. And Ubisoft, to their credit, he talks about trust, and maybe that's what it is. It's the fact that he's been able to grow a community of players that trust the development team. I mean, I'm no expert on this, but he seems to be making a lot of sense.
Back in the day, Rainbow Six Siege would have been that game that was quite disappointing, but now we've got 27 million players, and that's all because of what they're talking about there. All they had to do was perform open heart surgery on it 2 years down the line.
Easy enough. Rainbow Six Siege, will you play it on day one? How has the game changed? Has it changed for the better or worse? Let us know down in the comments below. Like the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. Check out another one of the videos on your screen there. Support us on Patreon if you want to do that. We'll see you next time.